if someone wants to take a mortgage tomorrow?
Pre-approval is very easy. It's very simple.
There's any other activities that the bank try to avoid? How much percentage is being removed from the principal? I'm asking about different type of loans.
It's a good question.
What are the other hidden fees? Okay.
That's it.
And we are back with a new episode. For today, my guest is Fahad. Fahad has been in the financial industry for over 15 years, and he's here today to talk to us about all of the stuff that you guys need to do in order for you to be obtaining mortgages in Dubai. Thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you, Joseph. It's a pleasure to meet you.
So, Fahad, let's get straight to the point. If someone wants to take a mortgage tomorrow, what will be the first thing that they should be looking at before even looking at the property?
See, the best and the first advice I give to my clients is if you're looking to buy a property here in the UAE using a bank finance, get a pre-approval first. Just don't go into the market and start searching for a property. Get a pre-approval from a bank. Talk to your own bank or maybe speak to a mortgage consultant. They can help you to find the best mortgage solution and then go and get into the property.
So, what is the main things that they need to have? Tell us, like, who is eligible to be getting a mortgage, first of all?
See, it's like getting a money from a bank to buy a property in UAE. So bank wants to know that if you're borrowing a money, how are you going to pay them back? It can be, you can be either salaried, you can be self-employed, or you can be owner of multiple properties here in the UAE. Based on that rental, you can apply for a mortgage and get a loan to buy a property here in the UAE.
Yeah, so guide us one by one. Tell us, let's say if you are a salaried person, what will be your bare minimum salary?
So it's very easy. If you're a salaried customer, you have been employed in the UAE or even outside UAE for more than 6 months. A minimum salary for a UAE resident is 10,000 dirham only.
And for 10,000 dirhams, how much is a person eligible for?
So if for a salary of 10,000, you can get a mortgage of up to 700 to 750,000 dirham loan. So that means if you're targeting a property of 1 million dirham or 900,000, you can get a loan of 750, which is like 80% of the property value.
Okay, so
That's-
this is what, like, this is times 60, approximately?
Yeah, I
times
mean,
70?
yeah, this is something closer to that. Yeah, 700, 750 over the period of 25 years. But again, it depends upon the age, the loans the client have. But this is the maximum you can borrow on a salary of 10,000 dirham. That's the
Okay.
minimum salary you need to have.
And what is the maximum age that someone can apply for a mortgage?
So the maximum age at maturity is 70 years. That can
70?
70 years, but a loan cannot exceed more than 25 years. That's the
Mhm.
maximum loan tenor. But your age at loan maturity is not. It should not exceed 70 years.
Okay. So, and if someone having their own business, how does it work?
So its business is very simple. Like if you have a business for only 1 year and you have been doing a business 1 year, you can use your personal bank statement. You pay yourself as a salary every month, 50, 60,000 dirham for the past 6 months. If you've been paying yourself, you can use that and get a mortgage, which is called a LODA. But if you want like 80% of the property, if you want 80% loan on the property, then you need to have a 3 years business in the UAE with audit financials, with company bank statement, personal bank statement. That's how you can get 80%. Otherwise, 50 to 60% with 1 year tenor, you can get a mortgage.
50 to 60%. Okay. And how about the case where you have properties and you want to add more properties? How does it work?
So it's simple. Like if you want to add a portfolio of properties using your existing property, you can mortgage your existing property, take an equity out, and use that equity to buy another property. So you can leverage your existing
Yeah.
property to buy another property. If
So
you're
I
like-
know the equity release, it works 70% on the first property.
Yeah, 70 to 80%. In some cases, they can even do
80.
80% on case to case.
And this is on the evaluation where you send an evaluator to make the for on the current market price.
Correct. So if you bought a property which was like 3 million dirham and it has appreciated, gone up to 5 million dirham. So up to 5 million dirham, you can get up to 80% of the property value as an equity release. And
Okay.
use that money to buy another property here in the UAE or do a renovation on your existing property.
Okay, but they will not give it to you cash.
Yeah, so there are different structure where you can get a cash in your bank account, but it's mainly for new purchase or the renovation.
Okay, and I heard as well that now you can get finance based on your lease, on your rental, that they
Correct.
give you 6 times.
Correct. So if you have a rental annual rent of 500,000 dirham,
Okay.
hitting your bank account, you can use that and you can get a mortgage based using that rental income to buy another property or pledge the same property and get a cash to buy another property.
What if next year or the year after it, this unit is vacant. What happens in that case?
So at the time of applying, your property should be rented.
For how long? How many months?
It just, I mean, you'll show an ijari for 1 year,
Yeah.
showing that you have got an ijari for 1 year and you have got a rental checks for the next 1 year. Based on that, you can get a mortgage now. Later on, if the property is vacant or property is sold out, you can still get a, I mean, you can still keep that mortgage. It's not mandatory to have that rental coming in.
Okay. Uh, can we speak about the pre-approval process? Can you guide us from A to Z?
Sure. So you mean to say the pre-approval till you become the owner of the property, or just the
Yes.
pre-approval? Yeah.
Just the pre-approval, because like most people, they think that they have to pay for it.
Okay.
And so now we like consider yourself as talking to someone that is looking to purchase, but they have no idea whatsoever about the market and about the process.
So pre-approval is very easy. It's very simple. You don't need to go anywhere. So I remember back in 2010 when I started mortgages, you have to get everything physical, hard copies of the documents, original bank statement, original everything. That's all electronic. You just need to submit your papers. If you're salaried, you just submit your passport, visa, Emirates ID, salary certificate, last 3 months pay slips, and last 3 months bank statement. By submitting these documents, you get a free pre-approval from a bank. There are banks which can give you a pre-approval, I mean, within a day, or there are banks, if it needs more analysis, may go up to 1 week. So 1 day to 1 week is what you can get a pre-approval by just submitting the documents. After the pre,
And the documents, sorry to stop you. So you're saying if someone is salaried, they
Yeah.
need to give 6 months bank statement plus a salary certificate.
Yeah.
If a business owner needs to submit their trade license and the
Correct.
personal or business 6 months
So,
statement.
so it again depends upon how we are going to structure that self-employed case. So if it is a self-employed, you need to prove what is your, I mean, trade license, like your name on the trade license, last 6 months personal bank statement. If you are getting an assessment based on your personal bank statement, and that, I mean, trade license, passport copy, personal bank statement. These are the basic documents which we need if you're doing on a
And
personal.
the business should be running for over than a year.
Over a year. Correct.
Okay.
That's for a self-employed. So you submit these documents. For a self-employed, it may take a little longer, maybe from 1 week to 15 days, depending on the client profile. You get a pre-approval. Once the pre-approval is done, that means based on your income, the bank has assessed and given you an X amount. Then you go into the market. You know that this is what I'm eligible for, and then you go and get an expert like you or the real estate expert, finalize the property, and then come back to the bank for the valuation.
So except the real estate, any business activity that the banks don't like.
No, even
I
the
know they
real
don't
estate.
like the
No,
real
no. See,
estate.
again, there are banks which may not be very actively financing real estate, but we are. I mean, we as a mortgage consultancy company, we are working with a lot of real estate companies. We have worked with real estate agents who have got the mortgage. I have done myself. Our team has done myself for the real estate channel. So it's open. I mean, too. So there is.
So
there
there's
is
any other activities that the bank try to avoid?
See, there are risk parameters which certain banks doesn't want to do that. Sometimes, like if it is someone dealing into gold or maybe some sort of high risk business, some banks are not comfortable in real estate. You are right, but we know which bank does the financing for which sector. So
Yeah.
any sector, any area you are, we can get that financing for you guys. Yeah.
Okay. So now we've been seeing lots of news. So I remember back in the days, the banks used to finance only EMAR upon them reaching 50% of the
Yes.
property. And then in the beginning of this year, we've seen it that now it's being open to most of the developers. Also, few days back, we have seen articles saying that Modern,
Abu Dhabi.
Hudayriyat, Abu Dhabi, and with Adib Bank, they have signed that they will finance up to 75%.
Correct.
Can you tell us more about how does this work?
So, I mean, banks have become more comfortable in terms of financing the off-plan or under construction properties. So, let's say if you have bought a property which is under construction and the construction has reached 35 percentage, and you have paid 50 percentage from your own side, the rest 50 percentage is taken care by the bank. It was, as you said, it was few. It was for few developers earlier, like Imar or Nakhil, or few major developers, and now there are other developers. I mean, like Damak, or you talk about Mudon, Abu Dhabi, Aldar, of course, is a major developer. These are there. So, I mean, a lot of other developers have also been approved by the banks for financing the under construction properties as well.
Okay, so I want to know few details from you because lots of investors they ask us these questions. So let's say I'm buying a property. Uh, out of which I need to pay 25%, and the bank will cover 75% for me. But my payment plan is 50% during and 50% on handover.
Yeah.
So I have paid already my 25%. Now the bank is paying the remaining installment. When I'm paying back my monthly installments, am I paying on what the bank has already paid on or on the full amount that they give me?
Okay. It's a good question. So bank will only charge you on the amount they have disbursed, they have paid to the developer
So far.
so far. They
Okay.
won't charge you on the full amount.
Okay.
So bank works on the disbursements. If they have disbursed 10% of the funds, the bank will charge you interest or profit on that 10%,
Mm-hmm.
not on the full amount.
Yeah.
Bank will start charging the full amount once
Upon
full
paying
loan
the
is
handover.
correct.
Yeah. And also something it's super important, always people confuse it. So when someone is taking a loan 10, 20, 25 years, and when someone is paying those monthly installment, how much percentage is being removed from the principal and how
Okay.
much percentage is being removed from the interest?
See, there are two components to it. So if your rate is high, the interest rate or the profit rate is high, then definitely you pay a higher interest.
How do you classify high?
So
What's per?
high means like if your rate is like 6-7%,
Okay.
plus you have taken a loan for a longer term.
Mm-hmm.
The higher the loan term, higher the rate is, the more you pay interest to the bank and less to the principal. So let's say you took a loan for 25 years and your rate is around 4.55%. So 70% in the beginning, first 2-3 years, you will pay to the interest. The 30% or 31-32% you will pay towards the principal. So if you keep it shorter, of course, the installment will go up when you reduce the tenor period
Yeah.
from 25 to 10 years. Your installment will go up. Then you will, I mean, that means you will pay less interest to the bank. So if you keep the tenor lower, then you can pay less interest to the bank. But again, some people, they know that, I mean, I'm paying 4-5% here on a bank loan where I can use the same money, like others people's money, and invest somewhere else where I can make 10, 15, 20%, keep my outflow lower. So people, I mean, those smart people, they keep it for a longer term instead of keeping it shorter so that they can use that liquid, that they can use their money to make more money.
How does the refinance work? Give us the same example. Someone took a loan for 25 years.
Yeah.
First of all, how many years they need to pay in order for them to be able to refinance? And how does the structure change?
So by refinance, you mean equity release against the property
No,
or a switch off mortgage?
switching
Of the mortgage. Okay. So let's say you took a mortgage now today from one bank and you got everything completed. And after 1 month, you said, I don't like the bank, or I'm getting an offer which other banks are giving me
more
3.99.
competitive.
Better,
Yeah.
more competitive, and they're even covering the fees. Next month, you can transfer your mortgage, you switch your mortgage or refinance your mortgage to another lender.
Then you don't have to pay like an early settlement
Yes.
fees, which
So-
is what?
So that's 10,000 dirham.
0.75, 10,000 dirhams
So-
fix.
Then there's a central bank rule that you will pay maximum 10,000 dirham as an early settlement fees to exit the loan. That's
Okay.
it. So, I mean, you
It
can
used to
switch.
be a percentage, like 1%
It
or
used to be 1%.
0.75.
It used to be 1%, but it got controlled by the central bank. So
Okay.
central bank is controlling this. So just by paying 10,000 dirham, you can just switch it off. So let's say if you have a loan of 5 million dirham and you want to switch from bank A to bank B. So this 5 million dirham, if you take 1%, it's 50,000 dirham. But because of the cap, it's 10,000 dirham. You pay 10,000 plus 5 million dirham balance and you switch it to other bank. That's it.
Okay. What are the other hidden fees?
Okay. So this is a
Let's,
common.
let's
what do you-
spotlight on the hidden. You know?
Yeah, see, there is actually, when you deal with the bank, there is no hidden. Everything is mentioned clearly from a bank side. Or the advisor whom you're dealing with, that's his responsibility to tell you all the charges and fees. So what people do is they just go based on the rate, that this is the rate and that's it. But they also need to understand that there are fees like processing fees to process the loan.
What's the processing?
That's the bank fees. When you borrow money, they take a processing fee.
Yeah,
so
but
an arrangement
usually
fee.
what's the
It's between
percentage?
0.5% to 1% of the loan value.
Okay.
So that's one charge. But that can be also waived if you do a salary transfer or a non-salary transfer. That's one charge to it.
Mm-hmm.
Then also you need to keep in mind, when you're taking a mortgage, you have a life insurance, you have a property insurance, you have a bank valuation fee. So these are the fees which is there. So it vary from bank to bank. What is the premium on a life insurance, property insurance, bank valuation
I
fees?
thought the bank will pay for the insurance, no?
See, for life insurance, it is paid by the client. It is not paid by the,
Okay.
because if God forbid something happens to the client, the family is not liable to pay for the loan. The family gets the property, and the insurance company pays the loan. So it is mandatory for a client to have a life insurance. And then there is a property insurance. In some banks, you get a complimentary property insurance, but it's a small amount. It's a very small percentage of per year charge.
Yeah. And there's something very important. People get surprised with it, which is the loan registration fees.
Mortgage registration fees.
Yes.
Of course, I mean,
Because they think they pay the 4% land department, another 2% for their brokers, 5,000 dirhams for the trustee, and then
that's it. Yeah. And then they get a surprise. So that's again, when we share a proposal with the client, we include A to Z, whatever charges needs to be paid. So there is a mortgage registration fees. Whenever you take a mortgage, if let's say if you take in Dubai, you pay 0.25 percentage of the loan value as a mortgage registration. On a million dirham, you pay 2,500 dirham. In Abu Dhabi, it's like 0.10 percentage, which is very small. I mean, on a million dirham, just pay 1,000 dirham. I think in Ajman, it's 0.5 percentage for a mortgage registration fees. Yeah, but that's there if you take a loan.
what have you seen in the past 3 months?
Okay, so uh, I mean, start of the conflict, people were cautious. People actually wanted to, I mean, wait and watch. But from June onwards, I was speaking to the banks before coming here to understand what was the business they did it. So banks, some that the leading bank did like 2.1 billion dirham mortgages. That's even higher than what it used to be, the current geopolitical situation. So banks are doing really well in terms of mortgages in the month of June, and this month also looks very good. So it's not only new purchases in the mortgage industry, it's also about the refinance, equity release, final payment to the developer. So mortgage side is really doing well.
Yeah, because most of our buyers now coming, they're all mortgage,
Yeah. So no one wants
which
to
we
use
don't
it.
usually like. We like the cash buyers because we do a transfer in a week, but nowadays it's becoming between 30 days to 45 days.
And sometimes
Yeah,
60 days. Yeah.
we're seeing a great rise in the mortgage buyers. Tell me about nationalities. It's a dilemma been happening, and especially when it comes to Irani buyers. Can they still get a mortgage from Dubai?
So there is no such restriction, I mean, given by the bank to us or any
I've been
communication.
having three that they were
Okay.
rejected.
Okay, so I didn't get personally myself where we
Yeah.
submitted the file, but we have not got any communication from a bank side where they're not financing any specific nationality, whether it's Irani or any other nationality. So, I mean, we can still submit it unless we get a communication officially that we can't submit it. But again, on a property purchase side, I mean, you're an expert, you know, I mean, is
I'm
there an
just
issue?
telling you, in the past 2 months, yeah, we had three Irani buyers that they were rejected from
They were
all the
rejected.
bank, even though
Okay.
before they were accepted as pre-approval.
Okay.
Then they got rejected after signing the Form F
Okay.
and proceeding with the deal.
Okay.
So yeah, I just wanted to know if there's something specific for this nationality, or maybe they're after doing the security check on them, they found that their portfolio is not eligible for it.
Okay. So I mean, again, I mean, so our company have not got any client which was of that Iranian national,
Yeah.
but we have no communication on that side. But I mean, again, if we get that, we'll submit the case. If it gets approved, we'll inform the client. If it gets declined, we'll inform the client. Yeah.
Tell me more about the personal loans.
Personal loan is like, I mean, in terms of personal loan is something which is for a very short term. Like if you, that's not
A
related to
year or
property.
2 years.
It's like for 4 years, and
Okay.
there is a certain
Do you
limit.
see a rise in it now?
So personal loan, again, I mean, there is no such change in terms of the personal loan because it is not specifically for property purchase. It's for certain
Yeah.
personal use. It can be for, I mean, travel. It can be for small other personal needs. But when it comes to mortgages, personal loan is not something which people used to take and do it because it's only for 4 years. You can get up to 20 multiples of your salary. So if your salary is, let's say, 50,000, you can get a million dirham. So that's not being used for the mortgage.
Yeah. No, no, I'm not talking about the mortgage. I'm asking about different type of loans.
Okay.
And I want to see which one is increasing and which one is kind of stable.
Yeah.
How about the business loans?
So business loans, again, I mean, banks are a bit conservative on that. There, of course, is an impact. So there are certain industries where banks are, I mean, a bit reluctant to finance that. But again, business loan is something which has slowed down in the
Okay,
past.
that has slowed
Yeah,
down.
it has slowed down.
Tell me, what was the most complicated case you've had? You've been here for a long time, I'm sure.
So yeah, I mean, I've been doing this like for 16 years. See, there is no complicated case. Every case is unique. So I mean, I
Every
cannot
case
say
has its own
its own
complication.
complication. So you can't say that. I mean, one case is as identical to the second one. So it can be. I mean, anything. I mean, if so, I mean, something where that specific property might have a challenge, or that client profile might have a challenge. So there is no such I mean, there is no such challenge on that. So every case is unique. So I can't tell you that specific one specific example over here. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, this is about it. Thanks a lot for coming on the show. The information has been very useful. We're
Thank you
gonna
so
be
much.
putting your details in the description
Thank you
below
so
for
much.
people who ever want to have a free assessment, see if you are eligible or you wanna take it forward. Feel free to reach to Fahad at any time.
AJ in Dubai, making moves Broadway. Real estate king, stack bricks all day. Bought a crib so tall, can't see the ground. Cash flow endless, funds never drown. Dubai skyline, Anthony raining.